Hello everyone and welcome to this video about how to talk about your business without feeling like you are bragging. I'm Marie, the CEO and founder of Marie Olivia LLC, the #1 LinkedIn marketing agency focusing on personal brands for entrepreneurs, founders and leaders who wants to build their presence on LinkedIn. Because at the end of the day, LinkedIn is the biggest professional database in the world with 1.3 billion users. So you can imagine that big proportion of these people can be your potential clients, customers, or even people who can put you on another level, like being a speaker on international stages, etc. With this and much more, we can help you with my marketing agency. So definitely connect with me on LinkedIn, Marie Zametsnikova, and send me in the DMs that you are coming from this exact episode, and I will give you a bonus for free that I'm sending only to our clients, which is 10 secrets on LinkedIn that bring you clients. So let's take a look at this bragging topic, because you might know that speaking about yourself or even like communicating on social media might sometimes feel not really natural. And we're gonna speak about it in this episode, how to do it more natural and how to see it as part of your business strategy. Because at the end of the day, I am not speaking to you as a marketer. I don't have marketing background. I'm IT engineer with master degree in diplomacy, and I am here to tell you how you can plug in LinkedIn into your business so that it generates for you revenue. So why it feels like bragging? Many times it's that you actually fear that you are sounding self-centered, that speaking about yourself, it's a bit weird. You rather speak about your company, what are your company results, and many founders due to this usually stay invisible because they don't want to sound weird, they don't want to sound salesy, and also they understand that doing the work is not enough. This is mainly, for example, we have a lot of startups who, for example, develop their product, for example, after half a year or 2 years investing and constant development of a product. But if they didn't build their personal brand or other channels of traffic, then they finish the building and they have nobody to sell it to. So you might understand at this stage while you are watching this video is that doing the work, deep work, is not enough and that you need some marketing channel which will feel natural. And this is why we are here. So what is the difference between bragging and business communication? Because there is a big difference. Bragging is usually that you are claiming something that might not be really a result, might not be really an evidence. And we want to avoid this. And we want to rather prioritize the communication. So when you're communicating evidence, when you're communicating results, and not really that we are the best at something, but we want to really show people, for example, different statistics on how we have developed our business, on where we were before. So compare, for example, before and after, giving some testimonials of the clients and showing the proof instead of just bragging, instead of just claiming something that might not be even true. So what to talk about on your LinkedIn and in terms of personal brand? So first is the result. This is a #1 thing that you should communicate, for example, revenue, statistics, KPIs, and these things, which you might already have from reports. Then client outcomes, so testimonials. For example, I just jump off from a call with a client and he or she mentioned XYZ. Problem solved, because this is something that people want to really be affiliated to. So like what problems you have solved, how did you get from the point A to the B, and how did you help clients to achieve this? Then what is the process? So how do you actually do it? So what are the different methods that you are using, etc. And way of thinking. So how do you really think? What is your critical thinking? What are your values? So you want really that the work is speaking behalf of you. You want to, for example, tell to people what changed, what right now works for you, what actually improved, or what happened because of your work. So what is your lifestyle at this moment because you have dedicated time to the certain consistency, discipline, etc. So At the end of the day, why we have the personal brands on LinkedIn is because like people usually trust people, and people buy how you think. People really affiliate themselves with connection to you because you have certain values, you have certain hobbies, etc. And this is why we have personal brands. This is related to, for example, decisions. So how do you make decisions? How do you communicate your style of making decisions? Or approach? Is it more like that you are running your company more like friend oriented? Do you like cheer up the people in your company? How do you really approach your business? Then it can be problem solving. So how do you usually solve problems that other founders or other people might be dealing with? And then perspective that builds trust, because I'm always saying to the founders that they should even post sometimes about their lifestyle, so how they are running in the morning, and they are telling me, yeah, but Maria, I'm not really sure that I want my followers to know that I am going to run. And I'm like, yeah, but this is actually building trust, this is building connection with people, and we need this because this is then attracting high quality clients to come to us because they have certain lifestyle. If you are really dedicated, if you really take care of yourself, of your brain, of the capacity of your brain, you build muscles, you take care of yourself, then you are more showing up to yourself the best version, as the best version. And you don't want to work with someone who is non-stop drinking alcohol, eating fast food, because then the collaboration might not be really efficient. So you want to collaborate with like-minded people and help them to achieve their vision, right? At the end of the day, also consistency matters, because I'm always saying to the founders, build according to your rhythm, not according to algorithm. And a lot of people in different webinars and workshops, they want me to mention what actually right now works on LinkedIn, how to hack algorithm. But I am usually saying, take LinkedIn as your consultancy, as your expertise, showing off your expertise rather than social media. So really put in your calendar like 30 minutes per day and comment on people's posts, show your expertise, and rather, instead of announcing something, document your lifestyle, document your journey, because this is what works, the authenticity. Also, regular sharing feels natural, that you really show up for people rather than just randomly here and there. And then last is visibility grows over time. So it's not something like meta ads that you would put certain amount of money and then be expecting the campaign to deliver you results after 5 days. You can do this naturally on LinkedIn, but it takes time to develop your personal brand, but the business asset there is much higher than just paid ads on meta ads. And we do everything organically on LinkedIn. If you don't talk, people assume. So you should really speak to people about what you do, who you are, so that people don't need to think. This is the worst thing ever, that you let people think about something. Rather tell them, answer all of their questions. And silence creates wrong perception. So be regular, be consistent, be disciplined, show up for people and provide them your expertise, because visibility is creating clarity and people need to understand your business. They need to understand what you're offering, what is your irresistible offer that you have. So main message here is that you should stop trying to impress. Just don't do any more announcements about how much is your revenue, and start rather showing the evidence. So how did you build what you have right now? That is not bragging. At the end of the day, evidence, results that are supported by screenshots, by statistics, this is not bragging. This is showing to people what you have built, and you might be really proud of that. So this is really the clarity. So why to be on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the best place to show your expertise. As I said, just book 15 to 30 minutes per day to comment, to post, to be there for people, and people will be used to that you are there. Share your work and thinking, not only just cold posts for the sake of posting, but to really show people how you think, what is your critical thinking, and who you are. And build trust professionally, because this social media is different than others. So I'm Marisa Mesikova, the CEO and founder of Mario LLC. We help more than 15,000 clients worldwide. We are We are present on 4 continents, and among our clients are, for example, NATO, European Commissions, and others. We turn founders into the asset, which means that we build your personal brand and we turn it into your business asset that you can monetize, and also it increases value of your business. And you create authority and visibility, which means opportunities. We have 2 different programs, so you can go to mariolevy.com and we have either do it yourself, that we teach you how to actually approach LinkedIn based on your specific business model. So at the beginning of any collaboration with you, I spend 2.5 hours in a workshop with you because I need to understand who you are, how you think, and how we can really plug LinkedIn into your business. So either if you choose do it yourself or done for you, always you have this workshop there. And in done for you, we take your personal brand under us completely. So go to mariolevy.com and don't hesitate to subscribe this YouTube channel so that you don't miss any other episodes about LinkedIn and how to build the business that you always dream of, that even make you money in your sleep, because we do these ecosystems and we use LinkedIn as your growth engine. At the end of the day, opportunities don't start in the room, but they start online. And in other episodes that I have on my channel, you can find other tips and tricks how to, for example, use it for networking and others. In terms of opportunities and partnerships, please contact us in support@mariolevy.com. I will be really happy to receive some of the messages and comment below if you have some other takes on this topic of bragging versus the business coordination. So thank you so much and have a nice rest of your day. Bye.